Hi guys, welcome to the latest episode of Swan TV. I'm joined today by my brother-in-law, Brad Delamare, who's CEO of Tankstream Labs. He's also the person that, if you follow me on LinkedIn and things like that, who trolls me continuously. So if you see "Go to Swans" at the bottom of pretty much every single post I do on any social media, this is the man in question who is just trolling the Swans left, right, and centre. But Brad, it's lovely to have you here, mate, all the way from the other side of the world.
Yeah, thank you, James. It's late in the evening for me, but it's worth it to see your pretty face and talk about the Swans.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. So yeah, talk to me. I suppose start off a bit. Do you want to introduce yourself, what you do, where you are, etc.?
So as James introduced, my name is Brad. I am James's brother-in-law. So I live in Sydney in Australia. I have been here for the past 10 years. And over that time, I have worked continuously with startup companies, worked in the technology sector. And I, about 5-6 years ago, became involved in a business that started early. Which is called Tankstream Labs, and essentially what we are is a incubator, co-working space, education type of provider for early stage technology startups. So we've got about 4 offices in Australia. We've got over 200 technology startups at the moment. Over the last 6-7 years, we've had over 600 technology startups come through with us and grow. Some of them have grown on to be household names here in Australia. And one of the key metrics that we look at is actually how much funding those companies have raised. And in the past 6 years, companies that have been with us and involved with us and started with us have raised over half a billion Australian dollars.
Wow. And then you say obviously you've got lots and lots of different companies all under one roof and stuff like that. And I know something that's important to you is that sense of community. How do you build a community when you've got so many different companies doing so many different things under one roof?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I guess really for us, community is essential. It's really important because how engaged people are determines for us how successful we are, what we do. And so for us, how do we do that? Well, there's a number of ways we do that. One is through, collaboration. We try to foster as much collaboration between the companies as possible. So companies working together. So whether that's working together and providing services or products to each other that mutually benefit those companies, whether that's actually, collaborating and coming up with a new idea, or there's a new business that's formed because of that collaboration. That facilitate a lot of that. Networking is really important. So we run lots and lots of events, with education, social events and fun type of events. And that's really important to foster that networking, because that's really how you create the community. But then we also bring external stakeholders into the community, which then really provide a lot more, knowledge, provide a lot more resources. And so by bringing all those externals, adding to the community, which then makes people really appreciate the value that you're providing to help them grow and scale their business.
Amazing. And what's it like? I mean, obviously, the tech sector in Australia might be very different to the tech sector in the UK, but what's it like working with all those different tech people? Because they sometimes get a bit of a bad rap over here in this country. But I just wondered what it was like having all those people sort of in the tech sector under one roof.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting dynamic, let's say that, because I think people's perception of the tech sector is, it's 21-year-old kids coming out of university who are trying to create a $1 million idea or $1 billion idea, the next unicorn, as we call it. Yeah. But it's actually not. I mean, if we look at our all the entrepreneurs we work with, the average age of our community is 39. So it's not what people think and expect it is. But I would say in terms of what the tech sector is like, it's a very up and coming, growing sector here in Australia. Yeah. I'd say it was probably a few years behind maybe the UK and the US, but there's definitely a lot of investment, lots of resources going into it. I mean, when we started 6-7 years ago, we were one of the very, very first, if not the very first, co-working incubator in the tech sector, helping build tech startups. It wasn't known before us. So, and that was only 6 or 7 years ago. So it's come a long way. And I would say the rate and pace of change of the sector is incredible. These businesses can go from a 1 or 2 person team to a 30 to 40 person team within the space of 12 to 18 months. It's incredible how quickly these companies can grow. They can also be Australian based, but within that time frame as well, they could be operating in 2 or 3 different countries. The good thing about technology is that it has a global appeal. It's not just limited to one country or one area. The thing with technology is once it's developed and once it's built, it can be scaled at ease.
Yeah, absolutely. And personally, I suppose for yourself, obviously, you've been very successful since you've been out there. CEO now of a successful company. What's it taken for you to be as successful as you have been in the last 10 years on a personal level?
Yeah, look, I would say there's probably a couple of things. One is opportunities, taking the right opportunities when they come around. I think that's really important.
Yep.
I'd say, look, probably what is really, really important is people skills. How can you work with people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different skills, and put them together, work with them, not just internally within a team, but externally as well, customers, suppliers, investors. I think that's really important, and probably also adaptability. Adaptability of knowledge and understanding. How can you quickly build knowledge of a certain industry, a certain product, a certain service? I mean, tech is very complex, but I'm not a tech person, but I can get a quick understanding to what the tech does, how it works, how it operates, and it's that type of understanding and knowledge which if you've got can grasp quickly, can actually take you quite far.
So I asked you to bring 3 items in, just in different colours, and why they have a certain significance to you. Just to again applaud the essential workers here in the UK. So what's your first item, and what's the significance of it?
Firstly, it's not my jacket. This is obviously because it's Christmas and we're both being festive. So I'm just going to reach over and grab it. So my first one is this fella.
Hello.
Yeah, it's toucan.
I love it. And the significance of the toucan?
So I'm as you know, I'm very close to my family, and my brother used to live in Australia. And when he left, he gave me that to look after as like a pet. So that it has a very good meaning to it behind it.
Amazing, mate. I love it. And look at you, still kept it safe. It's not damaged. It's still in one piece.
It's not damaged. No, it's all, and it still stands as well. So yeah,
that's amazing, mate. I love it. Good stuff. And your second item?
Second item. So this is it's a bit pink, but this is my second item. And if you can see it's basically an all-in-one triathlon suit.
Yes.
And the reason it's important is because what I find, especially over COVID and people with people experiencing mental health issues, you really need to do things that you enjoy in your own time as well. It's not all about work. So for me, the way I relax and the way that I actually enjoy time is exercising. And so I do triathlons as a hobby, Ironman as a hobby, do lots of running, cycling, swimming. And for me, that's for me to calm down and just have time to myself and reflect. And, I really enjoy it as well. So that is really important to me.
And your last item.
So the last item, I think, hopefully will be a crowd pleaser for anyone watching. But
oh, there you go. Look, he's brought a bit of local. He's brought the Canaries into it. I love it.
It's the Norwich shirt, the mighty Canaries. So absolutely. Never forget where you're from.
No, mate, never. And having a good season as well, so it's all right.
Yeah, top of the league. So, I can live the other side of the world, but I still watch my football.
Unlike myself and teams from North London that will go unmentioned to having a terrible time. But we'll move swiftly on it. Well, thanks for coming on, buddy. Really appreciate it.
That's all right. Thank you for having me.
Go to Swannies. Go to Swannies.
Go to